नमस्कार एक बार और दिल से स्टोरीज पर। आज हम एक बहुत ही स्पेशल सीरीज को स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं जिसका नाम है ये दोस्ती। और इसका आरंभ करने के लिए और कौन, हु एल्स बट माय डियर फ्रेंड डॉक्टर तनवीर आलम। वेलकम।
थैंक यू पराग।
एंड
शुक्रिया।
और आप अपना थोड़ा परिचय दीजिए ऑडियंस को।
मेरा नाम है तनवीर। आई कम फ्रॉम उडुपी, स्मॉल टाउन इन साउथ इंडिया. It's famous for medu vadas and idli vadas and part of the South Indian temple tour. So if you're ever in South India, that's my pitch for tourism for South India. I grew up in the Middle East in Dubai, did my schooling there, and came back to Manipal, which is close to my hometown, which is where I met this lovely gentleman, Parag, on the first day at starting medical college.
ग्रेट। एंड मैं डॉक्टर पराग भारद्वाज हूँ और तनवीर आलम जी का मित्र। तो एक्चुअली तनवीर, आई डोंट थिंक आई आई डोंट थिंक यू मेट मी ऑन द फर्स्ट डे। आई मेट यू ऑन माय फर्स्ट। मेरा थोड़ा वो डिले हो गया था।
हाँ,
वो आपने ऑलरेडी स्टार्ट कर लिया था।
few days you
हाँ
were late.
हाँ हाँ। तो बट आई मेट यू ऑन माय फर्स्ट डे। और आई पेंट द पिक्चर फॉर द ऑडियंस।
Sure.
मेडिकल स्कूल का पहला दिन, कभी डेड बॉडी देखी नहीं जिंदगी में, कभी है ना लाश को कभी देखा नहीं। और देन यू आर स्टैंडिंग देयर नेक्स्ट टू अ बॉडी कडाइवर, राइट। कितने लोग थे, मतलब 10 बंदे थे
दस
एक?
दस लोग थे।
हाँ
दस
10। हाँ
10 लोग थे।
10 लोग थे। और क्योंकि मैंने थोड़ा देर से स्टार्ट करा था तो काफ़ी कवर हो गया था। आई थिंक ब्रेकल प्लेक्सिस यहाँ पे जो होती है, जो नर्व्स होते हैं उसको वो पढ़ा रहे थे। और मुझे तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था, सब सर के ऊपर से जा रहा था। और बाकी सब स्ट्रगल कर रहे थे वो भी, है ना। कि बिकॉज मेड स्कूल में वो जो एमबीबीएस करते समय द पेस ऑफ टीचिंग इज वेरी फास्ट, है ना। एटलीस्ट दैट्स व्हाट आई फेल्ट जब एक साथ ट्वेल्थ
Yeah, you're
स्टैंडर्ड
right.
से। हाँ,
It is very fast paced.
वेरी फास्ट पेस। और सब स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं, सब देख रहे हैं वो ये कहाँ है पेकल प्लेक्सिस में, ये कौन सी नर्व है और मैं देख रहा हूँ ये एक बंदा बैठा हुआ है अकेला, वो इधर उधर देख रहा है। मैंने कही यार, या तो इसको कुछ इंटरेस्ट है नहीं इसमें, या इसको ये सब आता है। है ना। तो दैट इज माई फर्स्ट मेमोरी ऑफ यू। एंड विद इन 5 मिनट्स पता चल गया कि अ, जो दूसरे लोग आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पा रहे थे, दे वर ऑल आस्किंग यू तनवीर, ये आके बताओ, ये आके बताओ। तो लेकिन उसी समय मुझे पता चल गया ये बंदा तो कुछ बड़ा करेगा जीवन में, है ना। तो वील टॉक अबाउट दैट एज टू वेयर यू आर नाउ। बट दैट वाज माय इंट्रोडक्शन टू तनवीर आलम। एनी।
So, so yeah. हाँ बिल्कुल, वो पहले दिन तो they are all sort of voyage of discovery, isn't it? You're trying to figure out who you are and uh, what the hell is going on because such a big change. इतना एक अंतर है तुम्हारे स्कूल के पढ़ाई में और कॉलेज की पढ़ाई में। तो वो इनिशियल डेज में पता नहीं, मुझे वो एनाटॉमी सब्जेक्ट वो जम गया मेरे साथ. आई कुड फिगर इट आउट, आई कुड अंडरस्टैंड the structures and the relations, and it was very interesting for me. So I never had to work hard at it, and while others were putting in a monumental effort just to get by. Oh, that was a great blessing from God for me. That I enjoyed it, and it came to me naturally. So that is what you're describing. And I also remember meeting you. Um, you had this big spectacles, बड़े चश्मे थे वो टाइम का वो फैशन था वो शायद. और ही वॉज वेरी क्वाइट. पहले दिनों में तो ज़्यादा कुछ बोलते नहीं थे. और वो देर वॉज दैट He had come late, so he was just looking around, seeing what's happening and trying to make sense of it. So there's that sense of confusion and bewilderment. Uh, and those were the my first recollections of Parag. And then after that, he started opening up, where you from, and we started talking. So those were the early introduction, but great times, and see where we are now. Fast forward from 1991 to 2023, still connected. And ये इसकी एक खूबसूरत बात है कि ये दोस्ती जो है कायम रही इतने साल, और एक अच्छे पैमाने में बढ़ती जा रही है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. So grateful for Parag to stay connected with me all these years.
ऑफ कोर्स या तो या थैंक्स फॉर मेंशनिंग 1991 की बात है ये. तो अभी 20 साल से नहीं 30 साल हो गए यार.
30 साल के ऊपर हो
हाँ.
गए.
तो फील्स लाइक यस्टरडे. तो हाँ, तो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट फ्रेंडशिप, है ना. तो दोस्ती जो है इट्स अ वेरी यूनिक रिलेशनशिप. एंड जहाँ पे मैं देखा, देयर नो अटैचमेंट्स, राइट. देयर इज नो, it's not a relationship that you're born in. And one of the things over time, what I learned was, I heard this, it stuck with me. Friends or family you choose,
Yes.
right? So रिश्तेदार तो you cannot get rid of them, in the sense it's it probably came out wrong. You're bound by them, right?
Yeah.
You're bound to them because you have a relationship, and it's whether you like it or not is what I meant to say. And
Yeah.
but with friends you can pick and choose. And and then, it's a different, everybody has a different standard of how they perceive friendship and the importance it has in their life. So anything you want to reflect on that?
क्या आई एग्री. दोस्ती एक खूबसूरत चीज़ है, जिस पे मिठास बढ़ती है. जैसे बोलते हैं वाइन मैच्योर्स विद टाइम, फ्रेंडशिप इज़ वेरी मच लाइक दैट. इट नीड्स टू go through its own phase of curing, and then it sort of changes into something else. Initially it's all about just spending time and cracking a few jokes and having a few light-hearted moments. Then it changes into sharing the ups and downs of your life, the highs and lows. And along the way, you get a sense of comfort with your dear friends that you don't get with sometimes your immediate family. And that is why friends are the family that you choose. And they have a vital role in maintaining your well-being, keeping giving you sporadic bursts of endorphin surge, which which is good for well-being, especially आज के दौर में जहाँ पे लोग इतने जिनका मानसिक संतुलन इतना बिगड़ गया है, और जो लोग इतने परेशान हैं हर चीज़ की वजह से. दोस्ती जो है वो एक क्या बोलते हैं उसको, एक मरहम है. इन जख्मों को भरने के लिए एक मरहम है. इट इज़ अ बाम that fills these wounds and takes away the emptiness which exists in all of our lives in varying degrees. So those my thoughts on what my dear friends mean to me, and Parag is has always filled that gap very admirably. So thank you, Parag.
Of course, thank you. Yeah, and actually, while you was जब आप बात बता रहे थे, yeah, friend can take a lot of different roles. Like, to me, you've been a great teacher, right? At certain points, you say some things probably casually, but they've set very well, with me. One of the things I remember जब हम college में थे, I mean, just to give everybody an idea, we were 17 when we joined med
Yeah.
school. So, but he used to say some very interesting things in terms of, like, it really made you pause and think about, how things are supposed to be in life. And one of the things that really struck me and still remember is, uh, you had mentioned, पता नहीं सेकेंड ईयर या थर्ड ईयर में होगा, प्रॉली चाय के ऊपर चर्चा हो रही थी हमारी.
Hmm.
तो you had mentioned it is a small things in life,
Yeah.
है ना. दोस्तों के साथ थोड़ा बैठना, हंसना, and share some light moments. That's what life is all about.
Absolutely. Even today, I still look for these moments and I try to create them wherever I am, because these are the bits, which make your life complete. Daily life is boring. It's very monotonous. Getting up and going to work and paying your bills and facing the rigmarole of life is just a monotonous adventure. When it is interspersed with these moments of joy and levity, then it becomes fun. अच्छा लगता है, you tend to get through the day with a smile, a little, beat in your step, and that's really important. So we all need to be connected, especially as we're getting more and more older. These connections have become more important than they were when we were younger. Younger we were, more self-reliant, and we had this hope that we would face the world with gusto. But life beats so many things out of you, your challenges that you face. But friendship is a constant. No matter what ups and downs you face, you always have that safe space to fall back onto. And nostalgia is a great endorphin booster. It's amazing. Every time you have a good memory, you are transported back in time to a magical place where those events happened, and you're happy again. So I think nostalgia, there is no price tag for that. It's priceless.
Yeah. So I'm picking up a few things that you're saying. You mentioned the beat. So I think one of the common denominator, I think, for us in our friendship is music.
Yes,
है ना?
very much so.
So I remember कॉलेज के समय भी uh, कभी मैं पढ़ाई कर रहा होता था. Of course, you were very bright and at a different level. तो कभी कभी एग्जाम के समय या पढ़ते समय यू यूज्ड टू कम, चलो ड्राइव के लिए चलते हैं. And then we just used to drive. You used to drive and you just play some music, and that was it was an amazing time, right?
It's a
Or
great stress buster, because
yeah,
medicine is a highly stressful, what you call, course to do. People don't realize it. You're constantly badgered with exams and assessments, and you're like, how the hell am I going to get through this? So those moments are great stress busters. I would remember, it was me who would drag you out of the library. You'd be sitting quietly reading, poor chap, and I'll say, "चल पराग एक चाय के लिए चलते हैं, बहुत बोर हो गया, दिमाग पक गया इधर बैठ के लाइब्रेरी में."
नहीं, लाइब्रेरी की बात मुझे याद है. तो एक सब्जेक्ट हमारा होता है फार्माकोलॉजी, है ना? तो जस्ट टू गिव एन आइडिया हाउ तनवीर फंक्शन इन कॉलेज. सो फार्माकोलॉजी एक सब्जेक्ट है. उसमें दवाइयों के बारे में कैसे वो काम करती हैं, उनके साइड इफेक्ट क्या होते हैं, वो पढ़ना पड़ता है. तो टफ सब्जेक्ट एट लीस्ट टू मी. तो कल एग्जाम है और वी आर ऑल क्रैमिंग, है ना? और हमारे दोस्त तनवीर आते हैं, है ना? लाइब्रेरी में साइड में बैठते हैं, है ना? सबसे मोटी किताब. वी आर लर्निंग फ्रॉम द थिनेस्ट, है ना? सबसे पतली किताबों से हम पढ़ रहे हैं कि जो ना स्क्रैम, जो समरी है. और तनवीर जी यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं सबसे मोटी किताब लेके. बैठे हैं इधर उधर देख रहे हैं, बोर हो रहे हैं, कल एग्जाम है ना? भाई साहब को सब पता है ना? कह रहे चलो चाय चाय पीने चलो. तो आई रिमेम्बर आई वेंट टू हैव टी विद यू, but I don't think we went on a drive that day because I had to get back to the books.
Yeah,
But you're an encyclopedia of
you declined the drive that day.
no, you're encyclopedia of knowledge, you know. Very good knowledge on about music, history. Actually, I was surprised. एक बार मैंने ऐसे ही बताया था कि मैं जब लॉस एंजलिस में रहता था, तो मेरे घर के बाजू में एक जगह थी, लब्रे टारपिट्स.
Hmm.
और मैंने ऐसे ही वर्णन कर दिया उसको, एंड यू न्यू एवरीथिंग अबाउट इट, है ना? यू हैड मेंशन दैट एज अ किड you had read one of those books, I think encyclopedias.
That was a gift from my parents to me. 32 volumes of the Encyclopedia Britannica. So I read them cover to cover. Those days you had no internet, you had no Google. So this was the way to improve your knowledge. I think most 80s kids who were fortunate, if they had a set of these 32 books, their knowledge went through the roof. because it's so well presented, lots of pictures in it. An excellent thing. Today, nobody knows what the Encyclopedia Britannica is because you have Google and Wikipedia, so it's become obsolete. But वो time का वो Google था वो, but
Mm.
you actually had to open the book and read it. But I read them all with great interest and fascination, so those bits stuck with me. एंड आई वॉज एन ओनली चाइल्ड, सो मेरे पास कोई भाई बहन भी नहीं थे कुछ खेलने के लिए, तो ये किताबों में मैं समर हॉलीडेज में कहीं जाना नहीं था. So I would sit and spend countless hours absorbing this stuff, and then telling a small few bites from it to my parents, and they would just be like, "Wow, he actually read the books. We never thought he'll read all of them." So it was something that was very useful, and it has kept me in good stead over the years. Alhamdulillah.
No, no, you're very knowledgeable. And I remember एक बार कुछ कॉन्वर्सेशन चल रही थी, अ, तो फर्नीचर पे कोई बात आ गई, एंड फर्नीचर के बारे में इट वाज अबाउट द टाइप ऑफ वुड. और ये जस्ट ट्राइंग टू पास आवर एग्जाम्स इन एमबीबीएस. एंड उसने मेरे ख्याल से जो बोल रहा था उसने ऐसी कुछ बातें बना दी, ये लकड़ी यहाँ की है, ये है, वो है. बट यू कॉट हिम एंड यू सेड नो नो नो, ऐसे प्रिजर्व नहीं होती है वो. उसको पानी में मेरे ख्याल से 10 साल या 20 साल डालते हैं, फिर उसको निकालते हैं, फिर उसकी वो ट्रीटमेंट करते हैं. एंड देन दैट पर्सन वाज शॉक्ड दैट यू न्यू अबाउट इट. आई रिमेम्बर जब हमारी ग्रेजुएशन हो रही थी, तो सब लोग अपने ग्रेजुएशन सूट्स बनवाने के लिए दे वर टेकिंग यू टू द टेलर्स बिकॉज यू न्यू एग्जैक्टली what material to pick, what was good, and how to get it stitched. So your knowledge is very vast. And just to give the audience an idea, um, you're also pretty fit. When we were in college, I'm sure I mean, you still are, but we are getting older. And at one point, you were the arm wrestling champion, I think,
Yeah,
of
good
where we
times.
studied. Huh?
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. Yeah, तो आर्नल्ड श्वार्ज़नेगर के बड़े फैन हैं सर, है ना? और
कल भी कमांडो देख रहा था टीवी में. हाँ.
अच्छा. नहीं, और एक बात मुझे याद आई इससे कि आई मीन आप काफ़ी मस्कुलर हो. तो मुझे एक बार पता नहीं वो मजाक में क्या हो गया था कॉलेज में, वियर्ड, शायद खाना डिनर के लिए जा रहे थे हम, या वी वर वेट स्टैंडिंग आउटसाइड आवर यूजुअल जॉइंट. एंड पता नहीं क्या हुआ, मैंने सोचा तनवीर को मैं थोड़ा हाथ मार दूंगा और फिर मैं भागूंगा, एंड देयर इज नो वे ही विल बी एबल टू कैच मी because I was lean and slim. So, and Tanvir is very like bulky, full of muscle. So I don't know what it was, and I did it and I ran. And you caught up with me. I was shocked. पकड़ लिया मुझे. तो ऐसा ही नहीं है कि you are just all about academics and books, but you have a very well-rounded personality. And so
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Parag, but I never saw myself as that. I always thought I was very unidimensional, but it's only when you feedback from people like yourselves, I look back and I realize, oh, actually, I did all those things. Now I'm recollecting it. I was like, wow, because you don't know what you're doing when you're doing it, isn't it?
yeah,
You have no appreciation for it. But thank you for that.
of course. So you're talking about challenges, right? So challenges in life and how friends help each other. And I don't know what you recall, but I think I remember when we had completed MBBS, I was trying to figure out what to do next, and so were you. And uh, I remember there was a time when things were on pause mode, and I remember I was waiting for my exam results to come to the US. You were preparing for exams, and I remember things were so uncertain in life, and I would say the consolation at that time was just talking to you. And I don't even remember what we used to talk about, but I remember talking like up to 3 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was a routine thing, you know and yeah, that was a very interesting time. I don't know what What reflections you have about that particular phase in
I
life?
think that was a very therapeutic time for both of us, because when you're in transition, see, people think you finish MBBS, that's it, you're a doctor. That's only the start of your journey. From there, you need to specialize, and memberships and fellowships. There is no end in medicine, but they don't tell you that when you join medicine. They say, "हाँ डॉक्टर बन जाओ सब ठीक हो जाएगा." But that's only where where your problems begin, is when you actually qualify. So at that time, keeping a level head and trying to stay positive can be a great challenge, especially because of the environment you're in. So you got some privileged people who are your batchmates who already have a career path created for them, because they are second or third generation doctors. So me and Parag are first generation doctors. We are the first doctors in our family. So our respective families have no clue about how to how to help us pursue our further studies or our professional path. So I think the challenges for us were far more different to others who already had a path paved for them, and that is why there was so much uncertainty and at times despair. I would say it was despair, because if you don't make it, then the word failure is used often, as a cliche, but uh, you're only successful until you're successful. Until then, you're a failure, because the society and the world views you like that, and that batters you down. And it is that fear which is there in your subconscious mind, which pulls you down. So you need to have those moments of reflection um, and laughter to actually help you get through that, onto the other side.
Yeah, but it was such a weird time, right? Like you don't know what's going to happen next at all,
Very
and where
tough,
life is going
very
to
tough.
take you, right? So that in
But that's
uncertainty was here.
because the
Yeah,
uncertainty surrounding it.
yeah. So that was like very interesting times, and
But you made it.
yeah,
You
you.
went
So did
on your
you.
own
Yeah.
speed. You went to the states. You had no assistance. And I always respect the struggle and the journey that you've made. So in that sense, you've been an inspiration to so many others, because of how you have strived and how you have got to where you are. So you always think, "ये मेरे बारे में क्या है?" But there is so much about you that is inspirational to others as well. Like
Well,
like
that's
you have pointed out some things to me today, which I am reflecting on. uh, this is something that you need to reflect on. You're also an inspirational person, and your story is no less remarkable than any other immigrant who has gone to another country and started from scratch. Yeah.
that's very kind of you. But yeah, but I did have some people. I had friends like you. I had family members, and it just worked out in the end. And I know that was a very crucial time, and you helped me out. So thank you for that. And yeah,
What was
and
important is you had a focus, you had a goal, and you were, yeah, and you were determined to achieve it. And not everybody achieves their goals. So वो काबिले तारीफ है.
we're lucky. We're lucky. We had yeah. So I know we have limited time, but I think one of the fondest memories I have is our graduation time. And I think our family members, the mothers,
Yeah,
got along very well. And I was just thinking about the times we spent, and that was very special, right? The
very
graduation.
special, very special.
Yeah, but we didn't know what was coming next, because at least when you're doing your medicine, you have a goal to complete it on time, right?
Yeah.
And but then once that was over with, then it was like, okay, now what next, right? So that was the immediate challenge that, at least in my mind, I faced. And yeah, but you've gone on to do very well yourself. You're in the UK now, and you're very well sought after physician, and you're just climbing up the ranks and doing extremely well.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. The blessings of my forefathers were very kind, benevolent people. My parents, my family, my friends, they're all rooting for me. When you have people rooting for you, I think you ride the wave of that goodwill. So I've been blessed over the years. I've got a lot of goodwill of people, behind me. And I think that's the main reason why I am where I am today. Yes, everybody puts effort in life, but not everybody is able to achieve or to realize what they are thinking. Lately, the last 4 5 years, I think it's all come together for me in a nice way. And I'm just grateful to be here. I never thought I would be. I thought I'll just be another, you know, run of the mill kind of person. But now, being appreciated and being elevated up the ranks is a humbling and a rewarding experience.
Yeah, so keep an eye out. Uh, and because Tanvir, I think you have a, how do I put it? There's a lot more to come, right? So, I don't think we need to get into details, but I think there were like two or three really critical times in our lives, you know, instances. They were timed differently, where, I mean, I can speak for myself. You can share from your perspective. It's what you've told me, but
Yeah.
I think life would have taken a very different turn if I didn't get your help, right? And so, thank you for that. And I remember there was one time I had called you, uh, and I was in a very difficult spot, and I was like, I'm very private. Although we are good friends, we do have our space, which is very healthy. And I was like, who should I talk to about this? Man, I didn't have anybody, and I remember I called you, and I started saying something, and then I paused, and then you said, "मैं समझ गया," you know. So that was an amazing moment for me. I don't know if you really understood I was going to say or not, but you just saying it was like amazing. It's like yeah, that was a very special moment that I'll never forget.
Yeah, that's the beauty of friendship. No, sometimes when your friend is not doing well or is in a dark place. You can feel it. And yeah, I've always been connected with you like that. So I know when you are down, and I know when you're elated. So it's not difficult for me to tap into that and add my 2 cents worth. It's not difficult.
I
So that is the
appreciate it.
that is the connection and beauty of friendship, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the friendship, right? So, and it's amazing, right? Because yeah, you have so many friends, but different friends have different. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the word friendship, I guess, is weighted differently amongst different people. Is what I'm trying to
Yes.
say. Yeah.
Very true. I
So
have, I have a similar episode when I was struggling with my membership exams. You came to my aid at a very crucial point, and I needed it at that time. I was in a dark place because the exam was has something called as differential attainment, which is a different set of values and results for ethnic minorities. Ironically, now I am the training program director for that same thing, and now I try to help others in that space. It's a journey that you cannot write; you can only live it. But at that time, my back was against the wall, and your support was invaluable to me to help me cross the finishing line. I remember, there were just a handful of people because everybody abandons you when you are on the cusp of failure, except your few selected chosen good friends. Sometimes even your family abandons you. And this is just the reality of life because, like I said earlier, nothing succeeds like success. Those are the words of Lee Iacocca, the chairman of the Chrysler Corporation. And that is life. If you're successful, yeah, everybody is smiling and beaming at you. If you're not successful, they'll just put their head down and ignore you. This is the way the world works. But during those moments, uh, the what friendship means to you, it can be truly encapsulated in its relevance and importance. So yeah.
yeah, I think it's our friendship has stood the test of time, and I remember
Alhamdulillah.
we were able to connect not too long ago, and it was just amazing. I think the best part of that trip was again going for a ride
Yeah.
and just listening to music. We were not talking, and
Yeah,
we
the
just picked
family
up. Yeah.
Yeah, all the kids were sleeping, and we were listening to When Smokey Sings by ABC, and we were transported back in time.
Yeah, so that was just a amazing, amazing time, So I think I, I mean, I feel I've had the good fortune of having you as a friend, and uh, I'm going to request our audience. I'm sure there's so many more great stories about friendship. Please, आप अपनी दोस्ती के बारे में हमें बताइए, है ना? Or it'll be fun to watch, but watch and hear about them. But I wanted to pay tribute to our friendship, Tanveer, by hosting you as the first guest to start the series.
I'm going to get emotional now, so but thank you for that. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
So I think we should end this session here. And again, I would request the audience to, if you have stories of friendship, share them with us. And because that's what life is all about, right? It's a journey, and it's all about who you have accompanying it. All right.
So I'll leave you with the words of Spock from Star Trek: "Live long and prosper."
And on that note, I'll say I call Tanveer Tonveer sometimes because he's got tons of knowledge and tons to give to the world. So with that, thank you, and I'll hope to have you back again. We'll what we should do probably do is pick some stories from our experiences and share them
Sure,
because I think there's a lot of wisdom that you bring, and it'll be fun,
absolutely.
educational for the audience. All right, take
Okay,
care. Okay
thank
then.
you.
Thanks,
Thank you
Tanveer.
so much.
Bye.
Bye.